Hey there, Joe. I just wanted to let you know that I was going to be sending you the check for Rosalie's graduation money. I know it's just a little bit late, but better that than never, right?
Oh, Mom, are you sure? You know you really don't have to do that if you don't want to.
Of course I'm sure. My granddaughter worked so hard to get through school, and I think she deserves it.
Okay then. Thank you so much. I know that she's really going to appreciate it.
I mean, I just can't believe that she's finally out of preschool and is going to start elementary school. Where does the time go?
I feel you there. I remember taking her from the hospital, and now she's going to be a first grader. Is this what it was like with me?
Something like that, to be sure. You blink and then all of a sudden your little baby is a full-grown adult. I remember taking you home from the hospital too, you know.
Well, that certainly says something. But it's true though. They do grow up and get big so quickly. And now we'll have to figure out a new food budget and buying school supplies. It feels like we signed up for some kind of expensive subscription service or something like that.
Yes, I remember when it was time to take you back to school shopping. But if you're worried about money, maybe I could include a little bit of money for you in what I was going to send.
Really? You mean it? That would be incredibly helpful.
Of course, but just make sure that it all goes towards getting Rosalie what she needs to start school.
Oh, you won't have to worry about that. There is so much that we need to get ready for her. Maybe we can even afford to buy her a little desk of her own to have in her room and study. Oh, wow. This is really going to change everything. Thank you so much, Mom.
Well, like I said, I remember how stressful of a time the start of the school year was. And I just remember being surprised by all the little things we had to buy for you. So hopefully this helps. And if there's any money left over afterwards, make sure to buy something nice for Rosalie, like a toy or something from me, okay?
I'll be sure to do that. I know that she'll really appreciate that.
Well, okay then. I'll go ahead and let you know when the checks are in the mail. We'll talk again soon. Have a good day, son.
Wait, just one more thing. I had something that I wanted to ask you, Mom. A favor.
You wanted to ask a favor from me. What is it?
Well, I was wondering if you would just put a little extra money on top of all that so we can afford to buy Rosalie a new backpack too. I really hope that's not asking for too much.
Well, I guess I can do that. But do I need to be the one who pays for all of that?
Sorry, what do you mean by that?
Well, it's just that, hasn't your wife's parents sent any money to either of you for Rosalie? I just don't want to overstep my boundaries as a grandparent and take away from a chance for them to do something.
Oh, I see what you're worried about. But there really isn't anything to be concerned about whatsoever.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah, of course. Actually, I was going to ask Helena's parents to help with the backpack, to be honest. But then I thought better not to. Helena told me that her parents are going through some financial troubles right now, and it seemed wrong to ask for something.
Oh, I see. Well, yes. I suppose you're probably right about that. There's no need to make them feel pressure to buy anything if they're in dire straits. But if that's the case, then I don't have any problem in helping you get her a backpack.
Thank you so much. We would do it ourselves, but our budget is just really tight right now. And for some reason, kids' backpacks are just so expensive.
Well, I guess it sounds like everyone is having some economic trouble these days. Do you really not have any spare money at all?
If I can be honest with you, we're having a bit of trouble, and I've seen some backpacks go as high as $600. And I just don't really think we can spare that much right now.
You mean that between the two of you, you don't have that much money? I thought that you both were working, no?
Well, the thing is that Helena is just really bad at saving money. She is always buying fancy handbags, perfumes, clothes, and stuff like that.
Oh, really? I had no idea that your wife was such a shopaholic. I have to say that I'm kind of surprised. She really didn't strike me as that kind of person at all.
I know, but to be honest with you, her and I have been having some issues. I think things are starting to get quite bad between us, and it just seems like Helena has no intention of stopping.
I see. Well, do you think it's possible that she's stressed from the pressures of raising children? I certainly hope that you're doing your fair share of work around the house and child rearing. After all, you do both work, remember?
Hey, I'm not saying that I'm the perfect husband or anything, but I always try and do my fair share of work. If anything, it's Helena that needs to step it up around the house a little.
You really mean that? She doesn't help out at all?
Anytime we might have a chance to do some work around the house, she always just conveniently disappears. And then when she shows back up at the house, she always has a shopping bag on her arms. Honestly, it's starting to really become an issue.
Wow. It sounds to me like she's using shopping as a kind of coping mechanism or something like that. But I do hope that this is all just a passing phase that will stop when she gets this out of her system. I suppose I knew people who acted this way when I was younger. Even I was guilty of splurging now and then.
Really? Even you? That's kind of surprising to hear, actually.
Well, it was just that your father made quite a bit of money in those days, and I guess I just didn't have the incentive to learn how to spend better or smarter. It took a while, but eventually your father and I settled into stable buying patterns and were less concerned with always shopping.
I see. And do you mind if I ask what it was that caused you and Dad to calm down?
Well, I think we just realized that we were being wasteful. Not only that, but we need to realize we should be focusing more of our energy on raising you.
I see. I guess that all makes sense when you put it like that.
But anyways, I say all that to make the point that I'm sure this will pass for Helena. Until then, you just need to make sure that she's not overspending and push you all into the red. If that was happening, then I think we would have to come up with another approach to this issue of yours.
Hey, Mom. I'm really sorry, but do you think I can ask you for a little help?
Help? What do you mean? What is it that I can help you with?
Well, I actually was just wondering if you can send us a little more money. And if possible, I'd prefer a large amount of money.
Don't tell me that things haven't improved for you at all financially. The last time we were talking, you were telling me about your money problems. What do you think the problem is? Is it overspending? Are you not making enough money?
Well, I would never complain about making more money, but Helena is just still spending everything we have.
There you go talking about Helena again. What is she doing this time?
Well, I told you how she was doing a lot of shopping, and that was only one reason we were having money problems. In fact, at this point, I think she might just be trying to scam me.
Scammed? You really mean she's just after your money and doesn't care about anything else?
Right. The thing is that Helena actually quit her job, so then I was extra worried about how to afford to take care of everyone. But Helena still wasn't slowing down on the spending, even then.
So you mean that even though she's quit her job, she's still spending as if you have two incomes?
Exactly. Not only that, but she's been leaving all of the housework and child rearing to me while she goes out on her shopping spree. I barely even get to spend $1 a day on myself.
You can barely afford to give yourself $1 a day? How do you even live like that?
Well, I've been buying mostly instant ramen to eat for lunch at work. And also sometimes I skip eating dinner as well. And even then, there are some days where I'm eating even less than that.
So you're really telling me that your monthly food budget for yourself is never greater than about $30?
Pretty much, yeah.
That's horrible, son. I wish that you would have come to me about this problem sooner. But I'm really just shocked that your wife hasn't stopped her shopping at all to think about the effect it could be having.
I know. I've actually tried to talk to her about this before, but she just gets so mad at me. I even tried to talk to her just a few days ago, and the same thing happened. She's gotten so mad before she even hit me, so I really just don't try to bring it up at all now.
I don't even know what to say right now. I had no idea that Helena was that kind of person. She always seemed like such a sweet, kind, and caring person.
Well, she's always like that when you or others are around. But the truth is that she's a bully who loves to shop, and I really need your help.
Okay, I understand. How about I start by sending you about $3,000? Will that be okay?
I think that that's going to keep us afloat for the time being, yes? But please don't say a word about any of this to Helena at all, okay? I don't even want to think about how she would react if she found out.
But if no one says anything to her, then this is just going to continue, right? That isn't something that you want to happen, is it, Joe?
I don't know what other choice I have. I'm not that far up the company ladder, and I still have got a small child to take care of. I just don't have that much leeway to think about anything else but working and taking care of the kid. You're the only one giving me any kind of breathing room, Mom. But I swear that I'll try to think a way out of this when I have a chance.
Okay. I hope you can do that. In the meantime, I'll send over the money right away. Please go and get yourself a real meal to eat.
Thank you so much, Mom. You don't know how happy I am that I can actually count on someone like you.
Hello, Carmen. It's been a while since we last talked, hasn't it? I'm really sorry to be messaging you out of the blue like this, but I was just curious if my husband came to you asking for help.
Oh, Helena. It really has been a while, hasn't it? You want to know if Joe has come asking me for help? I'm not sure what you mean by that. What kind of help?
Well, you may have heard about our family's financial troubles, so I was wondering if you didn't give him some money recently.
Oh. Well, where did you hear about these financial troubles?
Well, I guess it helps when Joe and I live under the same roof. It isn't hard to see that things have gotten tighter for us.
You think so?
Carmen, I'll be honest with you. You're not a very good liar, and you did give Joe money, didn't you?
Well, I suppose there is no use in trying to hide the truth now. But yes, if you must know, I gave Joe some money because he asked for it.
I knew it.
And I am sorry for not saying anything about this to you sooner. But from my understanding, you are partially to blame for these money troubles. Not only that, but Joe has told me all about the horrible things you've done to him.
Wait, what? What are you talking about, Carmen?
Please don't play dumb with me. I know about how you've been spending all my son's money as if it were unlimited. Did you know that all your spending has led to Joe not even being able to afford to eat some days? I just felt so awful for him, and that's why I sent him money.
And I take it that you heard all of this from Joe himself, yes?
That's right. He told me all that I need to know about you, like how you forced him to take care of the house and raise Rosalie all by himself. At first, I thought that you might have been shopping as a way to get rid of stress of being a new parent. But even so, it's clearly gone much too far as things stand now.
I see. So these are all the things that my husband has been telling you. Well, please, let me be the first to tell you that I haven't been doing anything like that at all. Especially not spending heaps of money that I don't have.
What are you talking about? Are you trying to tell me that my son was lying to me about all of this?
Well, have you done anything to confirm any of the things that he was saying about me?
And just how would I even begin to confirm those things?
Well, I think it would just be easier if we met in person to talk about this. Would you mind if I came over to talk?
I suppose it's fine, yes. But what is this all about? What's going on here?
I just think that it's going to be easier to explain everything once we've met in person. But I think you deserve to know the truth, and that's why I have to show you.
Very well then. If you want to talk to me in person, why don't you come over tomorrow around noon?
Perfect. I will be sure to be over around then. And please, don't say a word of this to Joe.
Hey there, Mom. I'm really sorry to ask again, but I need some more money. Helena just won't stop sending everything I have, and I just don't know what to do anymore.
You want more money from me? I'm sorry, but the answer is no. I'll happily give money to either Helena or Rosalie, though, but I have no intention of giving you even another cent.
Wait, what do you mean you'll give money to them but not to me? What are you talking about?
Well, after all, it's not like you need any money. You have plenty of it already, don't you?
I have no idea what you're talking about, Mom. But I have told you about how she was taking all of the money. I don't have a single cent to my name. I could hardly even afford to eat lunch, remember?
I think you've got it all backwards, son.
Backwards? What do you mean by that? I still don't get it.
I mean that the one who is taking and spending everyone else's money is you, isn't it? And you've been putting all of the housework and child rearing on Helena as well. You've been taking advantage of your family, including me, to take care of you.
Mom, you don't actually believe any of what you're saying, right? I mean, you don't really think that I'm the bad guy here, right?
How do you explain to me then why your wife and daughter both look like they're starving, huh? Not to mention the fact that their clothes are all tattered and it looks like they haven't had a real haircut in who knows when.
Wait a second. You saw Helena and Rosalie?
That's right. They were at my house not that long ago, and I was just shocked by their appearance when they arrived.
I get it. This is all part of her plan. Don't you get it? Helena made her and Rosalie look like that so she could try to cover her own tracks with all her spending. That's what's going on here.
And you really think that Helena lost all that weight just to talk to me? Can you just cut this out and tell me the truth already?
Well, okay. The thing is that the two of them were both sick with stomach bugs for a couple of weeks, and that's why they lost so much weight. But I haven't been stealing money from Helena or anything like that.
And have you been doing anything to help the two members of your family who were sick and wasting away?
I didn't do anything to them, if that's what you're asking. Why can't you see that Helena is just lying to you? How could you not believe me, what I'm trying to tell you?
So you're still not going to come clean to me, huh? I had to say that I'm just very disappointed in you, Joe.
Mom, please. You have no idea what you're talking about right now. What's happened? Why have you turned against me?
That is exactly what I want to know. How did my sweet boy end up such a horrible man? Anyways, Helena and Rosalie are going to be staying with me for the time being. I'm not letting them go back home to you.
Mom, what the heck is going on over there? I just got a call from Helena, and she told me she wanted a divorce and was going to try to take me to the cleaners with alimony. I don't believe this. How did it all come to this?
Are you really so shocked that she would do something like this after all you've done to her?
What are you talking about, Mom? I literally didn't do anything at all.
Well, if you must know, I was the one who told her to leave you. I told her that for the kid of your child and herself, that she would have to. I am going to make sure that the girls are taken care of and that you never do anything to her again.
This doesn't make any sense, though. Why are you doing this to me? Why are you tearing my family apart?
You brought this upon yourself and you know it. I mean, really, do you have no sense of shame? And what is this I hear about you quitting your job too? Don't you realize that if Helena ever decided to leave you, that would be the end of you? Not that anyone could blame her for wanting to do so.
You really don't mean that, do you, Mom?
Of course I do. I am just so ashamed of you.
I can't believe that you're really just going to let me take all the blame for this. This isn't fair at all.
Oh, you don't have all of the blame. As your mother, I can't help but feel some level of responsibility over this. And that's why I promised Helena that she would have my backing, no matter the choice she made for herself.
But what about the money? You didn't really tell her to try to take me for everything that I have, did you?
Personally, I think that if you get away with this only having to pay money, that you'll be very lucky. I mean, just think of what you put your own poor daughter through. This isn't something you can just apologize away, you know.
But if Helena takes my money, then I'll have nothing at all, not a single cent.
Yes, I suppose this means you'll have to start working again, won't you? And I imagine a cut of every paycheck you got would have to go to Helena in some way. But those are more details for her to work out with her lawyer. The lawyer whose services I'm paying for, of course. I want to make sure Helena has all the support she needs when she takes you to court. There's going to be nowhere for you to run and hide.
Wait, but then, how long am I going to have to keep paying for her?
Don't you know how child support works? You'll keep sending Helena money until Rosalie is 18 years old. But you know, you might be able to get a head start on your savings if you get rid of some of your video games. It sounds like you'll need every dollar you can get.
Please, you have to tell her to stop. She can't just leave me like this. It isn't right.
And what's not right about it? The only thing that I can see that isn't right here is that you've been leeching off your wife while contributing nothing. So you've got some nerve to talk about what is and isn't fair and isn't right. Honestly, did you really not think anything was going to come of treating your own family this way? In fact, I don't even want you to call me mom anymore. You are no son of mine. I was ready to stand by your side through any adversity you were going through, but you took advantage of that kindness and lied to me. You tricked me so that I would turn a blind eye to the mistreatment you were showing your own wife and kids. I don't think I've ever been this angry or disappointed.
Mom, I'm sorry. I never should have lied to you.
I thought I told you to stop calling me your mom. It's clear now that you've always been the one with the spending issue, not your wife. You were the one spending all your family's money, including mine, and not leaving anything for Helena or Rosalie. After all this is done, I never ever want to hear from you ever again. Do you understand me? About an hour later, Joe was at my house, banging on the door and begging me to let him see his wife and kids. He even slid an envelope with $3,000, the amount I had let him earlier, under the door. But I took the envelope and didn't say a single word to him. Of course, I wasn't scared, because I asked some neighbors and family to be there at my house in case Joe tried anything. He didn't burst down my door or anything like that, but I take that as a sign that he realized he's lost. After that, he had to find a job and start working again in order to pay all the money he ended up owing Helena. Although the court was also ordered a restraining order for Joe against Helena and Rosalie. After all that, I told Joe that he was being removed from my will. With no one on his side, and even me, his mother, turning my back on him, I heard that Joe became a very depressed person. He dedicated himself to paying off all the legal fees as fast as possible. He even got the court to agree to allow him to pay all his child support in one lump sum. After that, he packed his bags and moved, never to be heard from again. I still feel bad that the things had to end the way that they did, but I'm glad that while I may have lost a son, I've gained a daughter and granddaughter in a way that I hadn't before. Thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe.
Sorry for my abruptness. My name is Frances McBeal. Are you Dave Redwood's wife? May I speak with you for a moment? Yes, but I don't think your name is in my friends list, so could you tell me who you are? I apologize for not introducing myself first. I work as your husband's personal assistant. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too, Miss McBeal. By the way, why did you call me? That's because I was surprised to hear from you all of a sudden. Did something happen to my husband? Don't tell me he collapsed on a business trip or something. Oh, your husband is fine. He's full of energy, so don't worry. I'm glad to hear that. I was worried because he's been in Texas on a business trip since yesterday. I see. So it seems that your husband told you he went for a business trip. Sorry, I don't understand. I was just thinking what an easygoing wife you are. What? Never mind anyway. I just didn't expect that the wife of my supervisor would be so silly. Isn't it rude to talk like that all of a sudden? You think so? I think you're right. I beg your pardon? I'm sorry if I was rude. but I was being honest. What are you trying to say? Why are you asking me that question? Please don't say it in a meaningful way. I mean, you must have texted me because you have something to say, right? If you don't have anything to say, just leave me alone. Calm down. There's something I want to tell you. By the way, you really believe in your husband, don't you? That's why I said you're easygoing. Huh? Your husband is with me now. That's why I'm able to text you. But how did you know my contact? I looked it up from his phone. Does that mean you looked at it without his permission? That's what it means. Seriously? Because I'm curious about the person I'm in love with. So I was wondering what kind of person his wife is. But I don't think it's okay to do that. I'm in love with him, so it can't be helped. Aren't you curious about what's really going on? About me, for example? I'm in love with your husband. Me and Dave are married. Even if you're married to him, that won't stop me from falling in love with him. Just because you're in love with Dave, do you think you can just do anything you want to do? It's an invasion of privacy to look at someone's cell phone without permission, and that also applies to married couples. You and Dave's are a subordinate, and you just looked at his cell phone. It's just unbelievable. I knew it. What do you mean? Your husband said that you are a pain in the ass. The way you think is so uptight and old-fashioned. Also, you care so much about the details. Did my husband say that to you? He's talking bad about me to you, wasn't he? That's right. He said that you're annoying. Even your messages are troublesome. Seems like I agree with him. We texted each other for the first time today, right? So what? I'm just saying you're a pain in the ass. What's wrong with that? Huh? You said not to look at other people's phones, didn't you? Sounds like you care too much about unimportant things. It's an important matter, of course. What you did was an invasion of privacy. It's so obvious. Nowadays, it's normal to check your boyfriend's phone. My husband is not your boyfriend, is he? You just told me that he's someone you're in love with. You just admire him as your supervisor, right? I've never thought of him as my supervisor. Are you kidding me? I've been aiming on him ever since I joined the company. He's handsome for a man of his age. He's kind to women too. And he makes a lot of money. He's perfect, isn't he? For your information, he is married to me. I just happened to meet him a little late in life. I don't think it's a good idea to be in love with a married man. Doesn't matter. It's rather exciting. I'd be more interested in a wife who's more aggressive, but I didn't realize you were so easygoing. I find you more easygoing than me anyway. What is it that you want? Oh, I forgot to tell you the important thing. I'm sorry. I have nothing to say, so I'll leave you now. Wait a minute. Please listen to me. Do you have anything else you want to say? I feel like an idiot when I'm talking to you. I don't want to talk to you anymore. I'm sorry if I are offended, but I want to make something clear. I'm with your husband all day. So what? You don't feel jealous or anything? Like I said before, I'm targeting your husband. Are you telling me that you don't care at all? It doesn't really bother me. What? There might be something going on between the two of us, you know? Even if it's true, it doesn't bother me, because my husband told me about that. He told you? Yes, he did. He said that he'll be on a business trip with a woman subordinate. If he reported it beforehand, it proves he has nothing to hide. You're the only one who thinks about committing something nasty. Excuse me? Are you sure it's just the two of you on this trip? I'm not mistaken. Then there's no problem. Why do you think so? That's not something I want to talk about with you. I'm in love with your husband, you know. I know. Please don't complain about what happens from now on. What do you mean by that? I mean, even if me and your husband start dating each other. You're not dating, you're having an affair. What's wrong with that? Adultery is a serious problem. As long as me and Dave love each other, there's no problem. You're so silly. Honestly speaking, I envy you a little. Well, I'll take that as a compliment. I see, that's good to hear. You know what? I'll be spending 2 whole days with the person I'm in love with. It's a business trip, though. I know, but it's just the 2 of us here. How can there be nothing going on when a man and a woman are together? I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to steal Dave away from you. Steal him away? How? He's going to marry me. I'm going to be his wife instead of you, who is lazy and stupid. Marriage is not something you can do alone. Do you understand that? Of course I understand that. Then do your best. What are you talking about? That's my line. Don't be ridiculous. I'm saying I'm going to lose your husband. Aren't you scared or something? If you can do it, go for it then. Don't complain if I really take him away. You don't understand the main problem here, do you? Do you want to have an affair with my husband? It's not adultery. Dave and I are married. If he starts a relationship with you, it's adultery. I'm declaring a battle to you now, win or lose. Oh, that's right. If you're so confident, how about having the loser gets down on her knees? I don't understand. Are you okay? You'll become the loser in this battle. Huh? On the contrary, if there's a way for you to win in your current condition, I'd like to know. Shall I tell you then? By all means. Because I'm younger than you. Yes, you are. Also, I have a nice and soft skin. I don't know about that since I've never met you. I also help Dave with his work. Well, that's your job anyway. I can go to his place whenever I want. That's true. How's that sound to you? I don't care what you say. You don't think I'll beat you, do you? I'm better than you by a long shot. Not at all. Is that the only reason you think you can beat me? I'm surprised. Huh? Why? Because I'm married to Dave. No matter what you do, the adulterer loses. I've done everything right at home and I also treat him well too. There's no reason for me to lose. You can't guarantee that. Well, it doesn't matter now. It's like I can't get through to you. Is that any way to talk just because you're his wife? Can we end this conversation now? Noted. Anyway, please remember that I'm declaring a battle with you. I'm definitely going to date Dave. I'll be his girlfriend and eventually I'll become his wife. I'll keep that in mind. It's too late to regret what you did today. I'll make sure to save this message. Please do so. It's you who will cry when I take him away from you, so get ready to get down on your knees. Goodbye. Hello again. Thank you for talking with me yesterday. My pleasure. So what can I do for you today? Do you remember what we talked about yesterday? Yes, I do. I'm glad to hear that. I thought you'd forgotten all about it because you're not that smart. Just hurry up and get to the point. About your husband, he responded to my request. Is that so? Yes, we stayed in the same room together. I see. Do you know what this means? After what I said to you yesterday? What? Yesterday, I told you that having an affair with a married man is a huge problem. And you didn't even listen to my advice. I'm not going to listen to your advice. Dave said that. He'd date me. I see. How do you feel about that? What do you mean? You feel sad since your husband was taken away by a girl younger than you, right? I wonder what I can say to make you feel better. Please tell me that you'll let me have your husband. Admit the defeat and get down on your knees. Give him to you? Dave isn't some sort of merchandise. By the way, I won't get down on my knees. I love him so much. You're preventing me and Dave from getting along. I've told you many times, I'm married. If you don't know what this means, but I think you're in trouble. You're the one who'll be in trouble. Why? Because your handsome and wealthy husband is taken away from you. You'll be alone. A stupid old hag can't survive on her own. And that's why you're still refusing to accept defeat. You don't understand. You're the one who doesn't get it, Missy. I know everything. I can see into the future. Dave and I are destined to be together. That's a happy way of thinking. I'm very happy. I want to be with him forever. I hope it comes true. I'll be rooting for you. Oh, are you planning to get divorced? That would make me very happy. Me and Dave are planning to get a divorce since a while ago. What? We're getting a divorce. Huh? What do you mean? The divorce was decided a long time ago. So even if you hadn't come to me, I would have left him sooner or later. Am I wasting my time? I don't know about that. When are you getting a divorce? Please hurry up. I'm going to become Dave's wife soon. That's why we're discussing it now. Discussing what? Don't you want a divorce? Isn't there any point in putting it off? On my part, I want a divorce right away. But my husband has a problem, so that's why we're discussing it. What problem? So many people have similar mind as you. Therefore, I'm having a lot of trouble proceeding the divorce. Huh? You know that, don't you? Know what? My husband has been involved in several relationships with a lot of women like you. That's the truth about him. I'm the only one he's dating with me. He told me so. All the women seem to think so. There are 3 women that I know of. He said there's no one but me. Yesterday he said it was just me. He said that he loves me. I heard those words right from him. I'm sure my husband is manipulating you. That can't be true. He said it's just me. That's what he told me. There's no way he would lie to me. Anyway, we're getting a divorce. I can't believe you're divorcing him. I'm really happy. I think it's too soon to be happy. I'm really happy to hear about the divorce. I want him to be mine as soon as possible. By the way, how old are you? 25. You graduated from college and are working as a personal assistant after that, right? That's right. Why does that have to do with anything? Since you are a college graduate, you are aware about what happens after an affair, aren't you? Don't tell me that you really don't know about it. There's only one path to happiness after an affair. Leaving the wife who is in the way behind. And be united with the man who loves me. There's no other way. Well then, I'll take the good opportunity to teach you then. I don't need you to teach me anything. I'm demanding alimony from my husband. Alimony? My husband was having relationship with several women. So what you told me just now was the truth? Yes, indeed. But Dave said that I was the only one. Maybe my husband was just trying to get you to fall in love with him. People say love is blind. Seems that it's true. I'm sorry you were so easily fooled. Relationship with several women. It seems that you started seeing each other yesterday. But you've had a physical relationship for a long time with Dave, right? Of course, yes. I was the one pleasing him instead of his wife. That is adultery. Huh? As Dave's wife, I'm claiming alimony from the woman Dave has a relationship with. That of course applies to you. Huh? There's a lot of evidence left on the messages you sent me. Will I be charged too? Of course. Dave said he'd go out with me. You're going to take money from me and Dave just because we're dating each other? Even if my husband says so, he's still married. It's a different case since he's not single. How much are you going to charge? The going rate is about $10,000. $10,000? That's right. I'll have our lawyer contact you. I'm Dave's girlfriend. Girlfriend or not, you committed adultery of your own volition. You need to take the responsibility of what you've done. Wait a minute. What? I don't have the money to pay for that. Don't you think it's a waste of time to charge me money that can't be paid? I'll get you to pay whatever it takes. I can't pay that. That's your own fault. Please stop charging me. I got all the related messages from you. Even though we're still discussing divorce, I'm shocked that he's having an affair again. But I never intended to have an affair. I intended it to be pure love. Like I said before, there are no excuses for adultery. It's not right to have an affair if you're not ready for it. Then I'll marry Dave and we'll pay for it together. Marriage? I bet that's impossible. Because my husband has at least 3 girlfriends who he promised to get married with. A girlfriend like you, who looks at his phone without permission. I'm sure you'll be the first to get excluded from his list. Too bad we don't have a polygamy system in this country. No way! I'm sorry to bother you at a time like this, but I'm going to have her report this to your company. And my husband too, of course. What? It's obvious, isn't it? Please don't do this. I beg you. If the company finds out, I'll get fired. What you've done can't be helped. You'll be punished. I'll give your husband back to you. It's not a matter of giving my husband back to me. Stop asking me to pay for the compensation and also don't tell the company what I've done. I worked hard to get the job. The world isn't that easy. I filed a claim for compensation from my lawyer to Frances. She repeatedly asked me to stop. Of course, I also told the whole story to the company she works for. My husband and Frances were fired for taking advantage of a business trip for personal use. Frances has no severance pay and can no longer pay her rent. Now she is doing a night job that provides her free accommodation.